is liberation, illumination, or that enlightenment only reserved for the extraordinary few? Or if you had the tremendous insight into the wholeness of life, your consciousness is totally different, right? Naturally. Because that liberating insight frees you from all the content of that consciousness. The pain, the anxiety, the loneliness, sorrow, depression, all that is wiped out. It's a fact if you do it. And it can be done. And it's not reserved for the few. But we human beings are not persistently, continuously applying. We are slack. We do this one day and we are weary of it the next day, we go off, so we keep. The ball is never in our court, it's always in other people's court. So if we are capable of maintaining, not by will, by perception, by seeing the fact and remaining with the fact, without any movement away from the fact, then the fact undergoes a radical change. You can see this if you do it. That is, if I remain completely with violence, that is, not try to do something about it, because I am violent, then the very attention you give to that factor of sensation which is called violence, when there is this light of attention on it, it disappears completely, forever. If you do it, you will discover it for yourself. And if you, as a human being, who recognizes that you are the entire humanity, psychologically, your entire humanity, and therefore you are extraordinarily responsible, without any feeling of guilt, then your consciousness undergoes a change, obviously. That is the liberating factor of insight. If you have that liberating factor of insight and you have transformed your consciousness, you are bringing a factor of something new into the whole consciousness of humanity. You understand? I do not know if you have not followed a recent experiment which has been written about. Oh, I don't want to go into all this. Yeah, I've started, so I must finish it. They put some rats in a tank of water. And there were two outlets. One, a dark one, and one with a light. When the rat climbed up the ramp and went to the light, which it thinks escapes through that, it gets a shock. So it comes down and goes to the other, which is black. Then it escapes through that. And they have and so generally the mother rat takes time to discover this. then its children learn much quicker. Please, it's not genetic. They learn much quicker. And so, without taking many experiments, after a few experiments, they go off through the black and escape. And they were doing this in England, in Australia, and perhaps in some part of America. Totally different, not communicating with each other. And the rats in Australia, please listen to this, the rats in Australia discovered much quicker the black way of escaping, not through light. You understand this? No, I'm not going to explain for you. It's very simple. Without no genetics entering into it, the rats in England took time to learn, and the grandchildren or great-great-grandchildren learned it much quicker. 2 attempts and black out. The same thing happened in Australia. The doctors were not communicating with each other. So, they have discovered there is a group consciousness. As well as chemically, it is so. You understand? So this group consciousness exists. And therefore, when there is one rat learns much quicker, that quickness is transformed, is given to the whole consciousness. You understand? So if you can understand from that. You get it? We have been talking about this for years. Only the rats. Only the rats have illuminated this. Our minds. Very interesting. Look how we are operating ourselves. We don't see something truth immediately. It takes time. Then we learn. And genetically we transform. We don't say, I won't go into it. So, we are saying, if you transform yourself through the liberation of insight, you are communicating to the whole of consciousness of man. You understand? This is happening. Like the great rulers of the world or the great killers of the world have affected the human mind, right? Attila, Genghis Khan, Hitler, Napoleon, on the other side, Buddha and so on, they've all affected the human mind, human consciousness. But if we actually daily live this intelligence, the insight of which liberates, then you are bringing to the whole of the consciousness of man a totally different air, different value, different movement, which is not based on knowledge, which is based on insight and intelligence. You understand?